forward to the weekend, Friday, getting down Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend, partying, yeah.
Yeah! All right, here we go. Friday. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Very excited. Football means a whole different ball of wax for us. So I enjoy the summer. Enjoy some of these weekend days, John Von Tobel. Yeah, JVT is here. Ari is back in our Findlay Toyota studios. Much to get to. Big news of the day. We got multiple coaches being pushed out of the NFL because they don't want to take the vaccine. Whoa. It's a big deal. It's a very big deal. So we'll get to that. We got more updates on baseball and the trade deadline. NBA draft is coming up next week. We're right around the corner from NBA free agency and all the movement. We got to get to all of it. Big Five time.
Battle-Born Injury Lawyers presents the Big Five at 5. Number 5.
We'll do it live. Okay.
We're on video right now up on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, so check it out. You can ask us questions in the comments, and we got the questions on the air. So please send in some feedback and check us out here on a Friday. I mentioned some of the big sports topics, maybe not so much sports, but certainly a driving topic. Have we gotten an explanation for the video we saw yesterday of the Bucks double-decker bus at one point just flying through the streets of Milwaukee? That had to be an isolated spot. Or was like the end of the parade, the beginning of the parade. What was going on?
Well, it's beginning because they're pulling out of a garage, and it's absolutely loaded at the top, and it pulls out, and it's gone. It's a 15-second clip. The car is gone, and the bus is gone in like 10 seconds. All these people are sitting there waiting to say hi. You even hear at one point in the video, there's somebody in the background that goes, "Aw!" Like the bus drives by so quick. There's no chance to engage with the crowd in any way whatsoever. Bus driver's got to get on schedule. That's what it is, right? He's like, we're getting this done.
I've never seen anything like it. I don't understand it at all.
Are you paid? Are you paid if you're a bus driver? How does payment work?
I don't understand it. I don't know. I would assume it's just, hey, here's the gig.
He's like, they promised me overtime, and I'm not getting any.
No one told them to get done in 12 minutes. I think the route was really short, too, right?
Driving the speed limit?
I heard the route was only like a mile and a half.
Yeah, it wasn't very long.
Maybe they just did laps. Just then you can really slow it down and kind of milk the whole thing.
Or just went to the end of the route and then reversed and did it backwards the rest of the way.
On the thread of the video, the Bucks crazy bus driver video, there were so many other crazy bus videos. You know, Sandra Bullock driving. I think there was I saw one with Chris Farley as crazy bus driver. There were a few others. And then you sent me a video. Where is this from and what is going on? It's another bus situation, but it is so much scarier than the Bucks bus.
I don't know where it's from. I don't know what it is. I don't know the language at all. It is in in an East Asian country. You would assume by the subtitles, but it's a man who somebody's filming. They're standing behind the bus driver, and they are driving down a very windy road, clearly downhill. But it's like the most I can do. This is maybe a very niche reference. But if you ever come down from Yosemite and how you know what I mean, and how it goes. It's like a snake path that goes down the mountains. You got to go slow a lot of the times through there because it's pretty precarious. Well, imagine driving that, but in a bus at full speed and never stopping for any of the turns. It is just full-on need for speed.
Like straight into turns and then turning, like hard turn at the last minute.
It's incredible. And the people, they're like, I don't know if it's fake. They're screaming. Yeah. They're screaming the whole time. Telling the guy, the translation of the subtitles are saying that, hey, can you stop? What the hell? What are you doing? Like, just stop. I don't know how real it is. I always take internet videos with a grain of salt because you don't know what is actually going on in the context. But this was an incredible video to watch.
We have a question in. Do you want to answer a question? Someone simply asking, what is Ari writing on the whiteboard? I have no idea. He's by himself. Usually that's a reminder board for us. But today he's by himself, so maybe he's writing reminders for himself. Maybe.
It is the name of a host that I'm reminding myself to send a link to. There you go.
Be reminded of that, isn't it? Every Friday.
Hey, don't get on him. He's trying to get more thorough. He's on top of it.
Number 4.
Even when he's doing the right thing, we'll bust him. The Cleveland Indians have changed their name we're in agreement. It's not great. The logos are even worse. I think logos and lettering and font can all be changed. So I think they've got to really work that to kind of bump up the name, the Guardians. You said the reactions were, I think this is sarcastic, were perfectly measured on social media. Was it Flip Out Central?
Of course. Right, same stuff as always. I find the word Yankee offensive. Now can we eliminate that one too? Like,
oh, people are big mad about the Indians name going
it's
bye-bye.
the same thing. PC, all that kind of stuff. Right. It is incredible that the people who allege that everybody else are beta and soy boys are the ones getting mad because their favorite baseball team is gone. Right. Like I don't understand why people don't get the irony in something like that. Regardless, people are going to be upset about it. Now, I saw a lot of complaints on both ends. Right. One of the complaints that I thought was very valid was, hey, you're changing this name, but your Twitter handle is still Indians. Right? You've gone away from everything except your Twitter handle, as you tweet this video out, is @Indians. Like, okay, doesn't really make that much sense. Now, you mentioned this, and I didn't think about this, because there was a one that people were complaining they still kept the Ians on the end. Right?
Well, it's the same exact font.
Right.
All they put is guard on top of IN.
Right.
Guardians and in for Indians, and the logo looks exactly the same.
Yes. So I can understand the lazy factor behind that too. Okay. Where they were just really trying. But the fact that they haven't changed the Twitter handle, I think, was the best one that we saw in terms of complaints. Because there were others that didn't like the video. The video did not state in any way whatsoever why they were changing the name.
Does it have to at this point?
I think we know, right?
Yes.
So I don't know if maybe that is something that should be mentioned in the video by Tom Hanks when he's narrating it. But there were a lot of weird complaints on both ends. But I think the one that's most valid is the social media handle. And there's also, if you look at the logo, Steve, and if you turn the logo on its end, it's actually just the outline of Chief Wahoo, which is kind of troubling. Like, were they that
Were they
lazy?
trying to balance it? Or they're like, we have no original ideas, so let's just kind of trace over what we have?
I think it's number 2. I still think the Spiders was a perfectly fine.
God, there's so much potential to have great names in the world of sports, and so often new organizations and organizations that change just pull an El Floppo. I mean, we're still not past football team yet. I think they might stick with it.
Why not? My vote was
Well,
that
if it's going to be Guardian, if it's going to be something as lame as this, then don't even bother.
the Washington Meter Maids, something like that. My vote is just not only just stick with Washington football team. I have said just be Cleveland.
Sort of
That's
like UNLV's doing with the Rebels and Rebels.
Right, just be Cleveland. Cleveland's coming to town. You're playing Cleveland. Why not just be Cleveland? Brand it that way. They got the C logo. It's all there for you.
Could you do like CBC, just Cleveland Baseball Club?
Ooh, that's a good one. Cleveland BC.
That's not a good one.
Cleveland BC, just like in soccer. It's a good one.
I don't get it. Where are all the creative people? They're not working in baseball.
There's no more ideas.
All this effort, and this is what we come up with, the Guardians. Okay.
Number 3.
Well, let's stick in Cleveland. Get a little draft talk in here. The draft is next week, next Thursday. Are you starting to do some of the handicapping?
Yeah, I've looked at it. I mean,
NBA experts over at VSiN. Let me get the title right. What is it?
Senior NBA analyst, yes. That means I don't know anything about any other sport.
Well, apparently you do because you were called college football expert in the New York Post the other day.
Was that really?
On that,
Oh, I saw that note. Yeah. So did it go in the Post?
It was in the New York Post, and it said this college football expert, John Von Tobel on the Mountain West Conference. Which, by the way, you went through this the other day. Your UNLV over/under wins, write up an opinion
1.5.
crap. Well, come on, dude. They're not going under 1.5.
Okay. Beth.
I will.
Okay.
We're gonna go head to head.
Well,
I don't know. Is there juice on one side or the other?
no, it's a
Is there a
pick.
price?
It's a pick.
We can go. I'll go head to head on that one. Or are you saying just do it at the book?
No, I mean, like, yeah, we'll go ahead and I don't care. Sure.
You're not. That's a bad play.
Okay.
It's a bad play.
Where's the win? Where's the 2 wins?
I don't even have to name the win. They're going to win games.
Yeah, sure. They can win a game and you lose.
I said games. They're going to win games.
What are the 2 wins?
There's plenty of wins on the board.
Where?
They can beat Eastern Washington. I know it's a road game. They can take out Texas San Antonio.
UTSA.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens at Arizona State. That's a screwed up program right now. And I don't think they're going to have a Buffalo season and win 8 games, but somewhere along the way in the Mountain West Conference, because they did compete in several of those games last year and run out of gas in the fourth quarter, there's going to be some of those games where they're up and other teams aren't. they're going to win games. They're not going winless. They're not going to win one game. So remember this. I'm sure you'll pull a Jalen Rose. You'll rip me like Jalen Rose ripped Perk.
Not really. If we're
clown on me.
If we're putting money on it, I'll just ask for my money, and that'll be the end of it.
I think you should clown on me. If they go winless or win one game and they're not competitive in lots of games, then I'll let that go.
Well, and I feel like too. I've said this before. Taking them under and thinking they're going to win 1 to no games also does not mean that it's going to be. This might sound crazy. A terrible season, right? If they have some ultra competitive games and down the stretch, right, they are close to winning some. They show some real growth as a program. There should be some, and they're like you, who are very close to the team, would be able to look at a season like that with nuance and realize that it was a relatively good season that showed some growth as they move forward. Right. So it's not that. It's when you look at that schedule. You mentioned
it's tough.
It's the Eastern Washington team. It's a really good Eastern Washington team.
So is UTSA.
UTSA.
These are names you see, and you're like, oh, of course that's going to be a win. Well,
UTSA is in competition to potentially win the Conference USA. Like these are all really quality programs that they have in front of them, and a lot of that was part of the analysis too. And even a program like Utah State, you get them at home. Utah State could be getting better by the time they face UNLV because you have a transfer you'd assume is going to take that job at Logan Bonner. Anderson comes from Arkansas State, where he led them to 6 bowl games in 7 years, and they have a million returning starters just like everybody else. So a lot of it had to do with the schedule, not so much UNLV, Philip Shepard, hate him.
Brady, one of our P1s, research guy, being a smart ass, saying that UNLV can play themselves and still manage to come out.
Straight late at
See, I'm
night.
not, I don't know what that means. It's just negativity being negative.
You don't need that.
By the way, can we get number 3 again? Never did it.
Number 3.
Thank you. Let me get to the NBA draft and the handicapping. I'm the one, I went on the tangent about your New York Post write-up, college football expert, but also senior NBA analyst. Are the Cavs really going to trade out of the 3-hole?
I guess this has picked up steam, right? Because here's the thing. The thought is that it would be Jalen Green that they were going to draft. But here's the thing. I think Jalen Green's gone by number 2. I've always seen them tied to Evan Mobley, which would make some sense for them. And here was we always do this, right? When it came to the anecdotes around this draft, what was it? I want to get in the top 4. Any team would be happy with a top 4 pick. You get any one of the top 4 guys, you'll be fine. You'll be set. Because the top end of this draft is loaded. And so if that's really the case, if basketball minds really think that, and the Cavs can fill a hole in their roster up front, why would they be trading out? The assumption that it's going to be Jalen Green there just doesn't make that much sense.
I thought the weird write-up that I saw
Get on the mic.
saying that they're too loaded at the prime positions at the number 3 pick, that they already have Garland, Sexton, and they're going to re-sign Jared Allen. Cavaliers are so bad. You draft whoever the best player is,
right,
and you make it work.
Right. Because Colin Sexton and Darius Garland, I mean, I like Darius Garland a lot. I think he's going to be a really good player. But it's not like Colin Sexton has shown some limitations as a player.